Hey everybody, just wanted to do a quick video today on nutrition. You know, I'm at a certain age right now, so I'm starting to really think about, what I put into my body. I participated in a charity a few weeks ago and I won this beautiful basket, and I'm so thankful that I won and was able to participate with this charity. But when I was going through the basket, it kind of tipped me off that I'm not going to consume any of these products. Nearly everybody I know is either affected or knows somebody affected with cancer, anxiety, depression, and among a slew of other diseases, diabetes being one of them. What causes all of this? You know, we're not born with cancer or anxiety, depression, type 2 diabetes. So why do we get these things as we get older? One thing we need to look at is what we consume in our bodies. Now, if we're smoking cigarettes and consuming alcohol and consuming narcotics, then we pretty much know that there's some risk to go along with that. But there's also risks in normal everyday food that you might not know. So I'm just gonna go through this basket real quick. I'm not a professional or anything, but I'm just gonna share with you kind of what I know, so maybe this can help you. So let's start with the first thing. So Crunch and Munch. My dad used to love this when I was a kid. He'd watch TV and eat this. So let's look at the ingredients in the Crunch and Munch. So there's corn syrup. So corn syrup's terrible. Almost all corn is genetically modified corn, like 90% of it. And corn doesn't really have much nutritional value. It's just used as fillers, dog food, our food. It depends on what kind of food you buy. Anything in a box is gonna have corn syrup probably. So corn syrup's not good. So it's got canola oil in it and soybean oil. So if you think of oil, think of like your intestines as like your plumbing in your house. You wouldn't cook bacon and then dump the bacon down your drain in your sink, because the grease is going to coagulate and get hard and clog your pipes. So that's the same thing that oil does in the food we consume when it goes into our body. So it's got some other things, soy lecithin, not really sure what that is, salt, sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, and TBHQ for freshness. TBHQ for freshness, that's probably some sort of preservative to give this a shelf life, because we got to remember the people making this food don't want it to go bad, because if it goes bad, their product has to be thrown away and then they lose out on their revenue. So you want to keep some sort of something in it to make it last a long time. Well, that's not good for the human body, because the human body's not really meant to consume things like that. So we'll keep it pushing. So here we got the fluffy stuff by Charms. Now this is a cute package, it's real colorful, looks really pretty. So let's look on the back and the ingredients, because you always want to read the ingredients, see what's in what you're consuming into your body. So the ingredients: sugar. Okay, you give this to kids, it's got sugar, it's gonna make them bounce off the walls. They ain't gonna listen to you. It causes mood disorders within children and also adults. Moving on, artificial and natural flavors. This is where they get people. Artificial flavors, like there's gonna be some artificial flavors in here, but the natural flavors is what fools people. In the human mind, when we hear natural, we think, oh, it's from nature, from the earth, it's good. Like we connect those dots, and that's a marketing strategy to get you out of your money, to get you to buy this stuff. Natural flavors is a BS term. So if I take this lemon, this is a natural lemon with natural flavor. If I then go into my laboratory and concoct some chemicals that taste like lemon, now I can say it's natural flavor. You can take something really bad and put that word natural in it, and it makes people feel comfortable and want to buy it. So they do that same thing with this. It's got artificial colors, including F, D, and C, red 40, blue 1, and turmeric coloring. Now turmeric is pretty good. Turmeric is an anti-inflammatory. You can take turmeric and it has to be mixed with black pepper, and that is an anti-inflammatory natural cure. So you can take, turmeric, it's a spice, but you have to mix it with black pepper, and when you consume that, it creates anti-inflammatory properties within your body. So you can actually heal your body with turmeric, but that's not what they're really doing here. So the F, D, and C, red 40 and blue 1. Now red 40 and blue 1 are food dyes to get the coloring for these things. Red 40 is a proven carcinogen, so this actually is cancerous. So if you're gonna give this to little Susie, little Johnny, for a treat, you're actually giving them a little bit of cancer. So, I mean, you wouldn't want to do that to your kids, but we don't think about this because it's got a beautiful package. You just don't think about it. So let's keep it pushing. Twizzlers. Oh man, my dad used to buy these. These were in stock in my house constantly as a kid, which is probably why I was a chubby kid. And what's in this? Corn syrup, which corn is GMO corn. It's not, it's a filler. It's crap, basically. Wheat flour, some other things, nefarious sulfate, thiamine, monotrite, riboflavin. It's got palm oil, which oil's not really good to consume in our bodies, most oils. And then it also has the red 40 and a few other things. So really when you're consuming Twizzlers, what are you getting? You're not gaining any health by eating this. This is just a time killer to numb your mind while you sit in front of the TV. You know, you're not gonna have this for dinner, and it's not gonna do anything for your body, so it's basically pointless to even consume it. It's not good for you. So let's keep it pushing here. So these things right here, dots, what do we got? Corn syrup, sugar, malic acid, natural and artificial flavors, sodium citrate, artificial colors, red 40, yellow 5, blue 1. So the food dyes are carcinogen. The red 40 is definitely, and corn syrup is useless, so is sugar. When you have cancer, it needs sugar to survive. So the more sugar you have, the more, acidic that your blood gets, you know, and then that is like a house for cancer. So you want to keep your body pH level neutral and balanced, not acidic. So bam, white cheddar popcorn. This has got all kinds of crap in it. Vegetable oil, canola oil, corn oil, sunflower oil. So it's got tons of oils that are going to gunk up your intestines on the inside. Cheddar cheese. Cheese is kind of an inflammatory, and so does milk. It's got pasteurized milk, cultured enzymes, butter, whey, cream, buttermilk, non-fat milk, lactic acid. So this has got a ton of milk products in it. So what else does this have in it? It's got a bunch of stuff I can't really pronounce. Silicone dioxide, disodium phosphate. And I don't necessarily know what those things mean. I just don't know what they mean. So it's probably not good to consume something that you don't know what it is you're consuming. So same thing, we got some more popcorn here. This popcorn is actually not too terrible. It's got palm oil, which is not good. It's got salt, which we don't need excessive salt. It's got the natural flavors, so it's got some sort of chemicals in here to make it taste probably like butter. So you got popcorn laced with chemicals when you can just actually get organic, non-GMO popcorn and just pop it yourself. It's pretty much the same thing, but much, much healthier. So, oh, pretzels, man, a lot of people will go to pretzels when they quit smoking. I did one time and it made me gain like 30 pounds. So I wouldn't recommend eating pretzels to curb your addiction for something else. But this has got, I don't know, normal stuff, niacin, iron, thiamine, riboflavin, tapioca syrup, malt extract. It does have canola oil, salt yeast, bromolamine, and soda, and it contains wheat. So these are actually probably the most healthy thing out of this bag. And it actually has the non-GMO sticker on it. If your food's GMO, it means genetically modified organism. That means that whatever plant or food was grown, they've grown it with genetically modified seeds to be resistant to Roundup. So Roundup, they can spray the crops, not kill the crops, kill the weeds and the pests, and then you still have the crops to sell for food. So Roundup has glyphosate in it. So glyphosate, you've probably seen on TV, people getting like non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So the glyphosate from people spraying the Roundup is causing them to have blood cancer. What happens when that Roundup is sprayed on the food and then it's processed and we consume it? This is actually probably the best out of all of them. Peanuts. So what are the ingredients in here? Peanuts and salt. So bam, peanuts and salt. This is probably a healthy option. It doesn't say if it's non-GMO, so maybe it was probably sprayed with something. I don't know how peanuts are grown, but the peanuts are probably the winner out of the bag. The TGI Fridays, the Party Bites, Buffalo Ranch, probably a pretty good flavor. It's got so much stuff in it that I can't even read the ingredients. Oils in it, natural flavors, artificial flavors, milk, silicone dioxide. It's got a bunch of chemicals that I can't really pronounce. It does have normal stuff like milk, onion powder, vinegar, garlic powder, tricalcium phosphate, paprika. It does have red dye 40, so it does have some good stuff, but some cancer-causing products as well. So it's probably cooked at high heat. Anytime you cook something at high heat, you cook like all the nutrients out of it, and you also produce a byproduct called acrylamide. Now, acrylamide is caused from you deep fry French fries or fish, or from barbecue on the grill, anything that's cooked at high heat or particularly fried or deep fried produces a byproduct called acrylamide, which is a carcinogen. So when you eat that stuff, you're actually giving yourself cancer. So bing, 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 here it is, Diet Coke. So it's diet, it's got no sugar, no calories, so it's probably safe, right? Well, first of all, just look at this Diet Coke. It's got a real bright label on it, but if you cover this label up, it's basically black water. So I'm probably a stranger to you, or you don't know me very well. If you were to come to my home and I said, would you like something to drink? And I gave you a cup of black water, you probably wouldn't drink it, you know, because it wouldn't look too appealing. But if I put it in it, put a bright, shiny red label on it and make you kind of happy, then it is appealing and you'll drink it. So Diet Coke, no sugar, no calories. Sounds great, right? But on the back, it's got a couple chemicals that are you should pay particular importance to. It's got aspartame and it's got phenylalanine. Now, we'll deal with the aspartame first, and I took a couple quick notes just so I remember this. So aspartame is an artificial sweetener, and it has a lot of side effects. So the aspartame contained in this soda can give you stomach problems, headaches, nausea, skin rashes, cancer, cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's, seizures, stroke, dementia, mood disorders, migraines, and weight gain. So the soda's got another chemical, phenylalanine. Okay, what is phenylalanine, or the side effects rather? So some side effects, it produces dopamine that regulates the mood. So when everybody that I know that drinks soda, they are addicted to it. They have to have it. You can't just say, hey, I'm just not gonna drink soda for 3 or 4 days. They won't do it. And I myself used to drink soda a lot too. So you just want one. Like if you're thirsty, it doesn't even occur to you to go get a big glass of ice water. You just grab a soda. You're feeling kind of down, you grab a soda. You know, it's got caffeine in it, which is also a drug. So these drugs, this aspartame, this caffeine, this phenylalanine, all these things interact with the dopamine and serotonin levels in your brain to stimulate your mood. That means, in short, this is controlling your mind, okay? So just like coffee, okay? I can be a normal person, you give me 3 cups of coffee and I'm like off the wall, you know, I'm short with people, I'm you know, stressed and tense because I've had too much caffeine. So like in the morning, I'll have like a cup of coffee, sometimes 2, but it's a drug. So you have to regulate it if you're gonna use the drug, and same thing in soda. So other things that phenylalanine can cause are high blood pressure. It increases the condition of people that have high blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure, you should not consume Diet Coke because it's gonna worsen your symptoms. People on antidepressants should not take phenylalanine. So if you're on antidepressants, if you have anxiety or you have depression, this chemical exacerbates those scenarios. So it causes you to have more anxiety and depression. Case in point, somebody who's a soda drinker that drinks 2 or 3 sodas a day, if they don't have their soda one day, they might be tired, they might be sluggish, they might feel moody, they might feel not happy, because it's a drug that you're introducing into your system that's causing these things. Also, it says people with cancer shouldn't consume phenylalanine. And when I say it, these are different research things I got from the internet. And you have to do some digging because some of these chemicals, you got to remember, these companies are putting them in these foods for you to consume because it boosts their profit margin, and they want to keep them legal and FDA approved. So they do a bunch of tests showing you how it's not dangerous, but when you do a little digging, you can find out that there are dangers. It's just like when a doctor gives you medication. There's going to be a list that says these are the things that could happen to you. You know, you might die from taking this medication. Doesn't mean you will, but you could. Not saying you're going to die from drinking a Diet Coke, but if you have anxiety, depression, or cancer, this one substance in here you shouldn't consume in your body. I wanted to show you like what you can eat. So an apple doesn't come with an ingredients list because an apple is just an apple. And the old saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And there's some things in the apple that actually specifically do that for your body. Bananas, tons of good things in bananas, you know, like you can solve like muscle cramps with the potassium in bananas, you know, a bunch of different ways that when we have these irregular things happen with our body, certain food that's grown from nature can actually help us. You know, we all know oranges have a lot of vitamin C. pomegranates are a superfood. After this video, I got 3 of these pomegranates, so I'm gonna have to YouTube it on how to cut it, because I gotta do that every time I buy a pomegranate, because it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to cut these things. But you can get them already peeled. I like buying frozen fruit that's already, it's USDA organic. It's frozen, it's bagged, and then I just take it like I got a bag of pomegranates in the fridge, and I'll just dump them in a blender, and that'll be part of my smoothie in the morning. Blueberries are great foods. These things right here, golden berries, you probably ain't never had these. Check them out. But if you want like a snack at home, you can eat pickles. Pickles are great for you. They clean you out. Instead of drinking kind of crap that doesn't do anything for you, you can drink other things that do good things for you. So water, lemon water is great for the body, because our bodies are made of mostly water, so you want to stay hydrated. So water is what the body needs. God made our bodies to consume water and to use water, not to consume black liquid that's full of caramel color. So this right here is kombucha. This one's a apple, turmeric, carrot, and spices. So kombucha is a fermented tea. Kombucha is great for your gut. It's a probiotic. So you have good gut bacteria. Like the body's made up, we think of bacteria as like a bad thing, but our bodies are full of bacteria, and a lot of them are good bacteria, quote unquote. And so when we take things like antibiotics to kill off some sort of bad bacteria that we may have picked up, we're also killing off the good bacteria, mainly in our gut biome. And so the reason why our gut biome is so important, the gut is the brain for the subconscious mind. And this is a totally different lesson for another time. But essentially, like when your gut affects the way you think and the way you behave. And case in point, if you're hungry, if you haven't eaten all day and you've worked all day and you get home and you're starving and the dog's barking and the kids are going crazy, like you'll snap at them because you're hungry. You know, they call it hangry. You know, you're angry because you're hungry. So your gut controls your thoughts, which control your mood and actions. So we want to keep our guts healthy, our gut biome healthy. You know, there's a mind-body connection for a reason. We want to keep that functioning properly. And this is one thing that helps do that. These are usually caffeinated, so I try not to drink it too much towards the evening time. This is usually my go-to, like a half a glass at night. For whatever reason, my body kind of craves kombucha. But this is something that you can really do that's helpful. I have a buddy that has gallbladder issues, and this is one thing that's helped alleviate those gallbladder issues for him. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I hope you learned something from it. I'm not an expert, but I'm just learning things. You know, before I ingest something into my body, I want to know what's in it, because you can't trust large corporations. You know, like I don't know anything about this kombucha corporation. I can see their ingredients on the back, and I'll read you some of these ingredients because I read you the bad ones before we go. Ingredients: kombucha culture, black tea, green tea, kiwi juice, fresh pressed pink lady apple juice, fresh pressed turmeric juice, fresh pressed carrot juice, cedar spices, and 100% pure love, organically produced. So that's much better chemicals than what was in the fluffy stuff. So let's see the pickles real quick before we take off here. Ingredients: organic fresh cucumbers, water, organic vinegar, salt, contains less than 2% of dehydrated organic garlic, calcium chloride, does have natural flavors, organic turmeric extract for color. My purpose with this video is just to open your eyes that as you're going down the aisle at the grocery stores, know that they put these things in pretty packaging for a reason. You know, God didn't package this apple. Man didn't package this apple, because you instinctively know it's an apple and it's healthy for you. You know, same with all this fruit. But there's a reason why we need to package black water and put a fancy label on it for people to drink it. And once they get addicted to it from the chemicals in it, then they just keep buying it. And now you got a customer for life, and you got money rolling in for life. You know, so that's how these corporations work on the psyche of marketing to get you open your pocket. One last thing before I go: when you go down the candy aisle at the store, you know, they got all the little grab bag items at the last minute, you know, the gum and the breath mints. Start turning those over and read the ingredients. One ingredient you'll find in a lot of those will be titanium dioxide. Now, titanium dioxide, depending on what you Google, it's going to tell you, hey, it's safe. We're just going to tell you, well, we may think it's carcinogen. In low doses, it's okay. But if everything you're taking has titanium dioxide, you're getting high doses. Titanium dioxide is a thickener and a whitener. So if you use like whitening chewing gum, it's going to have it in it. If you use anything that has like a candy coated hard shell, it's going to have it in it. If you take any sort of like, I'm going to use this in a generic term, but like aspirin, Tylenol, look at the back. It's probably going to have titanium dioxide. And it just makes me wonder, like, why is this chemical in everything we ingest? You know, so I always look for the options that don't have that. Propylene glycol is another one. Propylene glycol is a carcinogen, and it's in a lot of food. It's also a thickener, and it makes things like go farther. So they can cut ingredients with propylene glycol and make it go further to make more profit. Propylene glycol, shampoos, conditioners, anything you put on your skin is your biggest organ in your body. It absorbs into your bloodstream and then circulates through your systems. I'm going to end it here with saying, I hope this isn't a big negative Debbie Downer video. I really, truly want to do this to show people how important it is to just turn the back and read the ingredients and see what these major companies and what people in general are giving you that you may not be aware of. And there's other options. You know, these are all made by God. Now, obviously this had to be made by a human, and cucumbers don't turn into pickles without the garlic and the vinegar, but it's all stuff that came from the earth, where all this stuff is stuff that's made in a laboratory. And then we wonder why, like, every single person you or I know has somebody that's affected with cancer, anxiety, depression. These things, you may not wonder how the mental disorders tie in. All these chemicals affect your mood, which leads to things like anxiety and depression. You know, when we're born as babies, we're not born with anxiety or depression. That's something we acquire. And a lot of times we're acquiring it from our environment. And the major environment is what we put into our physical body, and in our environment internally manifests into how we think and act externally. So just want to leave you with that. I hope this message receives you with peace and love. And I'll see you on the next one. We'll get back in the garage for some more automotive videos. But for now, have a great day.